4th and goal to go to the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Right. According to PFF, anyway, Cam is still the number one for back-to-back weeks. He's still the number one rated running back, according to PFF. It's only 4 weeks early, a long way to go. I get it, all that stuff. But interestingly, Saquon Barkley is the number 82 ranked running back. And the Eagles just paid that guy. They gave him a 2-year extension or whatever it was for $41 million. They gave $36 million guaranteed. 2 years, $41 million after. So basically he's making like $20.5 million a season. Saquon Barkley. I think he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. And they're giving Saquon Barkley over $20 million a year. He's got like one of the best offensive lines in football. And he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. Unbelievable. Let me I got it here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Let me show you here. Share screen. All right, I got it. Let's see here. Somewhere. All right, here we go. Rushing grades. Here we go. Okay. All right. Offensive, not running. Okay, the total offense, right? There we go. Cam, right? And he's only averaging 3.8 yards a carry, right? Right, these other guys here, Merritt, he's averaging 5.9, 5.3. This guy, Najee Harris, 4.1. Unfortunately, his season's over with, right? Kenneth Walker, 5.4, 4.4, 3.3 for Josh Jacobs, 3.3. But I mean, look at all these guys, 6.1, 5, 5.7, blah, 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 blah. God, who leads the league as far as his offensive grade, as far as running backs, Cam Skattebo. Averaging 83.7 is offensive grade. Fantastic. Let's see. They got his run blocking, 79.6. Look at that. 79.6 run blocking grade. Unbelievable. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, 85.1. Who's this here? Aaron Jones. Okay. He's 85.1. But I mean, yeah. There's nobody else. Let me see, where are we at here? Oh, do it 100 here. Right. Okay, well, let me do this here. Run blocking. All right. See number 2. Where's he at? Number 2. Cam Skattebo. Number 2 is run blocking. Right. Now they don't show you pass blocking here, do they? Pass blocking. Here we go. Pass blocking. Let's go. I don't know. I don't know where he's at here. He must be, I guess he must be maybe down there pretty far. Cam's pass blocking. What's his pass blocking? 26.5. Well, I don't know about that. His receiving grade's a 79. So his receiving grade is like number 4 overall. Somehow he's a 26.5. I don't know about that. I mean, once again, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I've seen Cam blow some dudes up. I've seen him blow some guys up, run block and all that stuff. The dude's giving it his all, right? But after 4 weeks, our 4th round selection, our rookie 4th round selection, who's averaging less than 4 yards a carry, and it's not his fault. We just don't have the guys up front that can open the holes up. You give the dude a hole, he's going to get some yards for you. So he's averaging less than 4 yards a carry. It's not his fault. It's our offensive line. Okay. But he's averaging, he's the number one according to PFF overall, right? 83.7. Now, as I said, we're going to go down. This is what I love here. Number 82, Saquon Barkley. 53.2. So Cam is 30-something points higher than, according to PFF, right, than Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is averaging 3.1 yards a carry. They're giving the dude over $20 million a season if he plays the whole season, right? Right? He's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. Wow. He's got one of the best offensive lines in football. And Saquon Barkley averaging 3.1 yards a carry. One of the best he's got two number one wide receivers out there running around, which should open stuff up for him. He's averaging, and last week he was averaging 3.3 yards a carry. So he's gotten even worse. He's down to 3.1 yards a carry. Let me just see. It's just, Philadelphia Eagles 2025. Let's see here. Here's schedule. All right, let's see. We got a box score here. Okay, so Saquon against the Cowboys. This is what $20 million is getting here. Saquon, 18 rushes for 60 yards, 3.1 yards a carry, 3.3 yards a carry. 3.3 yards a carry against the Cowboys. Against the Chiefs. Let's see, a box score. Saquon Barkley, 22 rushes, 88, or 4 yards a carry. So his last two carries, last two games, he must have really done pretty bad. All right, against the Rams. This is where they lucked out to win this game. Let's see, what did he get here? Saquon Barkley, let's see here. 18 carries, 46 yards, 2.6 yards a carry. One of the best offensive lines in football, and he gets 2.6 yards a carry. Wow. And they give him $20 million a season for that. Okay, and then this past week here, against the Buccaneers, let's see here. All right, box score, what do we got here? Barkley, 19 carries, 43 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. Wow. Very impressive. Saquon, he's really taking the world by storm. So the Eagles gave him $20.5 million, and he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. Wow. Okay, but so after I did a video last week talking about Joe Shane, it looked like it was a good move maybe to let Saquon go. And I had a couple poll smokers left some comments that said, I can't remember what the German helmet suckers told me or said, but said, the Eagles are paying $20.5 million for a running back who's 3.1 yards a carry. Not too intelligent to me. He did really well last year and got in the Super Bowl, but to me, once again, I'll say this till the day I die. Whatever they did last, nothing impressed me because they can't afford their players. They have basically half their offense is on void years, all void years at the end of their contract because they can't afford to pay them. So to me, all the teams, a lot of the teams do it. I don't know if the Giants have anybody on void years right now. I don't think we do. Basically where you're paying them a lot of their salary after their contract's over. That's what the Eagles do. That's why they have such a good-looking team, somewhat of a good look. They draft well. But the reason why they have a lot of good players is because they can't afford their players. So they put all void years at the end of their contracts. So they pay them a lot of their salary after the contract's over with. I don't know if the Giants have anybody on a void years. the Eagles do. The Eagles have like almost half their offense on void years. That's why they have such a good offense, right? But they're paying Saquon Barkley, and they gave him a raise, I believe it was, after last season was over. He had 2,000 yards rushing. He had the best offensive line in football, one of the best. Right? Nobody was injured. They were all fine and healthy and all that. He had a great year. Good for him, and they rewarded him. But I don't know if they overused him or not. But yeah, so far this year, he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. So I don't know if they used him up last year or what, but he ain't the Saquon from last year, that's for sure. And the Giants are saving themselves a whole boatload of money. Saquon, is $20.5 million a season, right? That's what the Eagles, they gave us contract extension. They guaranteed him $36 million, guaranteed. We got Cam Skattebo, right? With the worst offensive line, averaging more yards per carry, rated number 1 overall according to PFF. Okay, and he's at 1.3 million. Right? To me, I'd rather have Cam Skattebo than Saquon Barkley. I'd rather have a $1.3 million Cam Skattebo in the first year of his career than the 8th year Saquon Barkley, paying him over $20 million a season at 3.1 yards per carry. Yeah. As I said, it looks like, I said right now, I didn't say maybe last year. I said right now, it looks like that's a pretty good move. But I said, but there was a couple of guys, pole smokers that came on and were making some comments and stuff like that. I said right now, it looks like it's a pretty good move. Right? I'd rather have a Cam Skattebo at 1.3 million, making, averaging like 3.8 yards a carry with the worst offensive line than the Eagles, than to be paying Saquon Barkley over $20 million a season. He's averaging 3.1 yards per carry, one of the best offensive line, if not the best offensive line in football. 2 number 1 wide receivers who open things up. You got a great offensive line, and plus not only that, but you got a really good running quarterback. Okay, who can just open up all kinds of things, and you're paying your running back over $20 million a year, and he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. I'd take Cam Skattebo 10 ways to Tuesday. So, we got the number 1 rated running back in all football. Right? And just imagine if we actually had an offensive line that could open up some holes. Imagine what Cam could do then, huh?